Okay, make sure you have a pen and paper ready. You will definitely need to be working on pen and paper today. It will be much harder to work on a computer. Listen again, the benefit of a video is that you can rewind and repeat bits. If you need to, do make sure you do that. Be prepared to pause. On occasion, I will ask you to pause to read something or to complete an activity. In such cases, please do that. Real learning comes from actively participating, not passive listening. Okay, here's today's starter questions. Pause it now, have a go, and give yourself no more than about 3 or 4 minutes to do these. Okay, the answers for these are on screen now. Okay, today we are going to be looking at Venn diagrams, which is a way we use to represent data and calculate probabilities. So Venn diagrams, you may have seen them before. They are typically made out of 2 circles. They can be more, but we will only be looking at 2 circles today, and a rectangle. That is sort of the boundary of our data, and you do need to include that. So, this left circle here might represent a particular group. That group will have a name and a rule applied to it. For example, it could be even numbers, things that are red, people with blonde hair, a multiple of a number, or people who study maths. Category A. We will also have category B. And this could be anything, but it has to be different to the first category. In the middle, we have what we call the intersection. This is where 2 parts meet, and in here, anything in here will satisfy both category A and category B. So if category A was boys and category B was people with blonde hair, in the middle you would have boys with blonde hair. The outside, this region here, is things that don't belong to either group. So they belong to neither A nor B. So again, in my boys with blonde hair example, if you have a girl with dark hair, they wouldn't belong to either group, they belong in this outer section. Okay, a slightly simple example that will just highlight exactly what I mean by all this. So the left circle, I've said, lives on land. And here is a bunch of animals that live on land. Bears, horses, cats. On the right we have animals that live in water, such as fish and sharks. The middle, the intersection, has to be things that live both on land and in water. And outside of that, things that aren't alive at all, things that are neither alive on land or are alive on water. They don't belong to either group. So, we are obviously not going to be sorting animals, we're typically going to be focused on numbers or other data. Okay, so we're going to start with sorting the numbers 1 to 10. So that symbol there is Xi, it's a Greek letter. And what that says is, basically my group is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's my field there, where I'm going to put all of my numbers. I'm going to put odd numbers in my left circle, and multiples of 3 in the right circle. Have a quick go now, pause it, give yourself no more than a minute, see how many you can get done straight away. Okay, so if you've unpaused it now, you'll be able to see the answers are going to be as follows. Number 1 is odd, but it's not in the 3 times table, so it belongs on the left. 2 is neither odd nor in the 3 times table, so it's outside of our groups. 3 is both odd and a multiple of 3. It's in the 3 times table. There's 4. 5 is odd. 6 is even, but it is a multiple of 3 because it's in the 3 times table, so it belongs on the right. Here's 7, 8, 9 is in both, and 10. Okay. A smaller group then, I just want you to sort the numbers 1 to 6. I'd like you to group it with square numbers on the left and odd numbers on the right. So pause it now, see if you can get them all 6 done, and then continue. Okay, our answers for these. 1 in the middle because it's a square number that is odd. There's 2, it's neither thing. 3 is an odd number. 4 is a square number. 5 is odd. And 6 is neither. Here's another example. I'd like you to pause it now and have a go at these. The answers for these are on screen now. Okay, from the... I'm just going to rewind. Right. Okay, here's a second set of questions. I'd like you to have a go at sorting these 11 numbers into the Venn diagram below. Pause it and then unpause it for the answers. Okay, the answers for these are on screen now. And we can use our answers to calculate probabilities. For example, questions like these. I pick a number at random from this list. What is the probability it is not odd or a multiple of 5? Well, numbers that are not odd or a multiple of 5, I've got piled on the left there. 4, 12, 24 and 26. So there's 4 of them out of a total of 11 numbers. So I can just write it as a fraction, 4 over 11. It's worth saying now that because it's probability, we don't have to simplify the fractions. We are okay to leave it unsimplified for any of these questions. So have a go at the next few. The next one wants both odd and a multiple of 5. So how many meet that criteria? Do all 3 and then unpause it for the answers. Okay, our answers are 2 over 11 because 2 are in the middle. 3 over 11 because I've got 3 numbers that are odd but not multiples of 5. And the final one, 4 over 11. I have a total of 4 numbers that are multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15 and 20. Don't forget the multiples of 5 is the whole circle. Okay, on screen you can see 4 questions, A, B, C and D. For each one, I want you to complete the Venn diagram first using the information given, and then answer the question below. It might be worth doing the Venn diagram, then unpausing it to check you've got that right before you answer the probability question. So you have to keep pausing and unpausing. Okay, so pause it now and then unpause it for some answers. Okay, so the first Venn diagram is there, and the probability is 3 over 12. 3 in the middle that meet both criteria. The second Venn diagram is on screen now, and the probability of a number that is even but not a multiple of 7 would be these 5 here, so 5 over 20. The third Venn diagram should look like that. And 6 out of 12 are not a multiple of 3 or 4. Now the final question might have caused you a little bit more of a challenge. So on the final question, you were asked to sort 10 students according to this description. So first of all, 4 students that had short blonde hair, which means they go in the middle, there's 4. 3 students that didn't have blonde or short hair, so 3 on the outside there. And then 6 students that have blonde hair, which goes there. Now you may realise at this point there's a problem because 1, we don't have anyone with short hair that isn't blonde, and we have 4 plus 6 plus 3, so 13 people, but it said we only had 10 to begin with. And the reason is because of the wording of this question. So it says here 6 students had blonde hair. That includes people with blonde but short hair. Because remember, blonde is this whole circle and we've already allocated 4 blonde people to the middle there. Which means we don't have 6 people in here, we only have 2. Because the 2 and the 4 make a total of 6 students with blonde hair. Now I've got 3, 2 and 4, which is 9, leaving me with 1 left over for someone who has short hair that isn't blonde. Here's a similar question. So on this one we have 50 students. 10 students had pasta and fries, 15 had only fries, and then 20 had pasta, and that would include the other 10. So pause it, have a go at seeing if you can complete the table, the Venn diagram, and answer the question. Okay, if you were doing this and you got stuck, we should have done this. First of all, there are 50 people. I'm going to tick that off from my piece of information. I've got a total of 50 for the whole Venn diagram. I know I've got 10 students with pasta and fries, so I can put that in the middle and cross that off. I've got 15 who had only fries, so 15 can go there, cross that off. Leaving with 20 who had pasta. Now I've put little brackets there for the pasta 20, because I know that it's not 20 people just to go straight in the circle, because I've already used 10. Because 10 people had pasta and fries, so there's 10 people that had pasta but not fries. Now the question said how many didn't have pasta or fries, so if we add those all together, we've got 10 and 10 and 15, which is 35 I've already allocated on my diagram. I should have had 50 altogether, which means we have 15 people left over. So the answer to how many people didn't have pasta or fries is 15. Okay. There's now going to be several questions that you'll need to take your time to just work through. Okay, each time you've completed them, you can unpause it for answers. So have a go now, read them carefully. The first page is about interpreting them. Okay, answers for this page are here. So 25, 3 and 15 for the first one, 4 and 6, and a Venn diagram that should have looked like that for the art and drama students. Here they are slightly more challenging, but again, I've got people being surveyed about various things. I would like you to complete the Venn diagrams shown on screen. Pause it now and then unpause for the answers. Okay, the answers to these are on screen now. So just double check what you got for those. Okay, now we have some more quite high level challenging ones. Read them very carefully and take your time. Each time I would suggest you do A, which is completing the Venn diagram, unpausing it to check what you get before answering B and C. So pause it now, do A, and then unpause it for the answers for part A. Okay, so if you did part A, I got it to look like that. So 30, 20, 10 and 40. The probability they don't study music or history is this area here outside of the circles, which is my 40, so 40 out of 100, or 0.4. The probability that they study only music but not history is this area here, 10 out of 100. Same again, have a go and check first of all that your diagram is correct before you try answer B, C and D. Okay, so the answer for the diagram itself is coming up now. Check it as you go. Then the answers for B is 6 out of 60. C was 28 out of 60. D is 15 out of 21. Final question. Pause it again, check your Venn diagram before you do the probability. Okay, answers. This bit's a little bit tricky, but we know 40 are on the outside here. Okay, so we've got 40 students and there are a total of 100, which means my circles must be a total of 60. Okay, I've used 40 out of my 100 already. I've got 60 left to go in the circles. These add up to 90, and the difference between 90 and 60 is 30, so we put 30 in the middle. From there, you can carry on to get your 10 and your 20, and that's what your Venn diagram should look like. Part B, the probability of a student who only studies geography is 20 out of 100, and Part C is 60 out of 100. Okay, well done for today. Before you log off, make sure you submit your work to your teacher.